I thought Braxton, he'd been hampered. He practiced for the first time yesterday, like half. Really proud of him. Guy goes out there and, obviously our health is our number one, the most important thing. And he decided he wanted to play and try it. And then I thought he did really good. Looked good. Needed it. Jackson, we had a great conversation. And he decided that he'd do anything to help the team win, even if it meant coming off a red shirt. So really selfless act. And thought his minutes were really good. I thought the first 5 minutes, he hadn't played, but he had a great wall up, had a rebound. He was off, had a good offensive rebound too. So I was really happy about that. He came in and gave us good 10 minutes. And then Frank, obviously, him not playing and his situation is just really tough. He's kind of been our, not just who he is, how he plays. He's been a big part of the spirit of this team in terms of our fight. But I will tell you, he still brought that in our huddles before the game, and he's an incredible leader. That's what it is.
Both Cole and Braxton talked about PLF, play like Frank. Did you sense that, especially in the second half there, when Colorado went on that run?
PLF, man, play like Frank. You play selfless. It's tougher together. He's the toughest guy when he plays, and he's the most, selfless teammate. And so I think when it gets hard, this team has showed a lot of resilience. It always hasn't been pretty. There was a lot of moments today that you kind of scratch your head. But for the most part, they keep coming at, our guys keep coming at you. They have showed a lot of resiliency, and they've got a lot of pride, and found a way. So really proud about that.
Hey, you've had some really good defenses here. Is this one shaping up to be, again, it's early, I don't want to put too much on it, but is this shaping up to be one of those better ones?
We have the potential to be, really elite. Sometimes I look at the game. I mean, we've been 9 straight days. I could see, even Colorado, you could see the fatigue. You play in the season, you travel. That's where we were letting them get the ball. They were doing a good job of getting the ball in certain areas that were giving us some problems in the second half, and our energy wasn't where we needed to be, and that's where you lose when you have a guy like Frank and Braxton. You have the two-headed monster, and Jackson I thought did a really good job, but still needs more reps at that. But we've got the potential, Percy, for sure.
And with Braxton in there, how does he make you guys different?
He can really score when you get him deep. He poses problems to smaller teams. And it gives you another option. You can score inside. You can post 3 or 4 different guys. We've got 2 or 3 different shooters. We're still figuring out, how we can get the guys that we need, the 3-point shooters, some shots. They went zone and it really hurt us. That looked like it just took the rhythm out. And PJ, that one penetration and kick to Cole was just a big time play, and we had the small lineup in, which we haven't. We had a little bit against Oregon State. We just got to get better in some of those situations where you have combinations of players that haven't had a lot of reps together.
I know you have to be ready for anything as a coach at this level, but last game you were missing 3 out of your 4 transfers. Is that like an unfair gut punch when you look at?
It's a challenge. There's no question. I think we've played a half a game with our entire roster, and that was when Noah, the first game. But we've got the one thing I love about this team is we're so deep, and so being able to have options. A lot of other programs, if it happens, you don't have that option. So next man up. You still got to go play, and other people have to step up. It's a challenge. There's no getting around it, but the coaching staff does a great job of getting these guys prepared, and you get those combinations with rhythm together in certain situations, and that's where it's kind of sometimes on the fly because it's hard to get practice. Players want to play, coaches want to practice, and so you're like, is there any time to be able to practice when you're playing back to back, back to back?
How do you keep Braxton out of foul trouble?
You know what, like any good post defense, you know, a lot of teams to keep bigs out of foul trouble, you can double the post so they don't have to be as aggressive. And with our zone, it's getting the ball in those little tight areas that force him to be in one-on-one situations. He's got to be more disciplined and stay down, and you know, protecting him is also our perimeter being really active and not allowing the ball to get in certain areas.
Cole Badger's impact on this team for your prime tonight. What does he mean to this team? What does he bring to the game?
He's an incredible competitor. He can really shoot it. And he's not just a shooter though. He's a good basketball player. You know, he can make plays off the bounce, and you know, defensively he knows our system. He's been in it for 3 years, and that holds a lot of weight. And so, you know, Corin played a lot tonight. We tried to have 2 guards in there. We knew they were going to press, and we just couldn't turn it over. So we did have too many of those. We'll get better at that, but he was a big help to us tonight.
What type of problem did the press call you?
I just think, you know, it's again, there's a little bit of that fatigue makes cowards of us all. You know, you kind of looks like some fatigue mistakes, but got to live and learn. We haven't been pressed a lot this year, so it was a new situation. But you know, they did a good job. They pressed, they zoned, they changed the tempo, and that can, with new lineups, you know, that's a little bit more difficult. With that small lineup they're playing, man, we got it.
With Jackson Grant, you were gonna redshirt him. What was the big thing you were gonna work on with him sitting out? Was it the offensive skills?
I think the biggest thing is sometimes in this game, you know, it's easy. You can lose your confidence. You can lose your, you know, like the love and all those different things. It's college. It's like I went through it. It's like not that he did, but I wanted him to have a year of like getting physically stronger, and he's gained 30 pounds up until that, and he looks great. Going against Braxton and Frank every day was unbelievable because the physicality forced him to really use his physicality, which you can see it. He's already better in that area. And I thought his true position is really to be a 4-man, like to be a forward rather than a center. And so I wanted a year for him to develop that and work on that. And when I went to him, I just said, Jack, you know, it's up to you. I don't want you to feel pressure from us, or anybody like, okay, you know, we need you, we want you. You know, games we can play small, big, I don't know. But your size and the way that we've been playing and having success, you can bring that. And he texted me last night, he goes, Coach, I'm all in.
You have 2 guys to me that just seem to be getting better every day. Cole Badger, his confidence just seems to be improving every day. And Corin, you take the good with the bad, but he's seems to be playing out there as well.
I'm really, listen, this game is a lot of, you know, them having confidence and their teammates having confidence and the coaches having confidence in them. And, you know, our staff does a great job of getting these guys ready. Cole, it's been fun to watch his growth. And Corin, you know, his first game he came back off a red shirt like Jackson's doing. He played 6 minutes, and now you can't keep him off the court because he can get you in your offense. It allows PJ to, you know how hard it is emotionally and everything like that to run your team and know the plays and get everybody organized and play. As a point guard, that's a big responsibility. So having somebody else who can do that kind of relieves a lot of pressure off of PJ. Now PJ also can score at the 2. It puts him in a different situation. And so all those are going to make us better in the long run. There are a little bit of challenges because you haven't had a lot of reps or 3 or 4 games. But that's the situation that we're in.
And how come teams that play zone a lot sometimes have a difficulty when they see it?
You know, psychologically, it's funny because we do so well against it. Last year, we were really good against it. I think, you know, they used to say teams that press hate to be pressed. That was one of the analogies. I used to always hear that all the time. So maybe zone teams don't like to be zoned. I don't know. But it's really just getting organized, getting the guys in the right positions. We had 5 of our smaller guys in there for the first time or last game with the practice. So. We just got to keep working at it. Teams can do that. You just got to be prepared, and you know, we'll be better prepared next time.
At times it seems like when you guys play at your best, you're moving a lot and you're playing faster. Have you speed it up?
Well, it was interesting, our defense, at Oregon State, our numbers are incredible on the defensive end, and a lot of our deflections, and if we can rebound well, which we have been, that gets us in transition. Oregon State, what they were doing is taking time off the clock, and it kind of becomes so I thought the press helped us tonight. In the first half, when we were down, we started pressing full court. We got a steal, we got a basket, got the crowd involved. That's the one thing with this team is we've got a lot of different options. The thing that was a little scary is Keon Brooks got a second foul when we tried to press, and so you can be aggressive, but you also have to be careful because it puts you in some tough situations sometimes.
Is there a defensive leader? It's like hard to identify like who's kind of doing it. It just seems like you guys have multiple defensive.
I thought today, leader talk, whatever, Frank was. I don't know if you remember the CLU game when we had to get a stop and he got everybody to tap the floor and everybody went down like Wojo at Duke, and showed that. But we've got really good, I don't know if there's an actual leader out there. I think in terms of the defense, Jamal Bay was just phenomenal today. 5 steals in 26 minutes. He was really, really good. Braxton's going to keep getting better at it. Jackson will keep getting better at it. Corin Johnson's he just has a knack, a little bit Matisse Thybulle-ish, the way he reads situations. PJ Fuller, man, how about his rundown block today? Like those, again, there's a couple of errors that we wish we could clean up, but sometimes he takes an unbelievable charge or he runs down and blocks, and those are the plays that change momentum of games. And I thought his block today, and now I think we got a dunk on the other end from Braxton, which was just, those are the type of plays. So I hear what you're saying, Kim.
Are you, you got a chance to celebrate, you're gonna have a chance to celebrate this one, but it's Gonzaga week now.
Yeah.
Are you fired up for that?
You know what? You're fired. Listen, winning a game against anybody is a tough thing to do in college basketball. When you get a chance to play against like Gonzaga, it's, before like you're, oh God, we got to be ready, and we got to, like you're playing one of the best programs in college basketball. It's just awesome. It's got a great environment, one of the best environments in college, and it gives you, gives you a great opportunity. The great thing about college basketball is watching some of these games and seeing some of the scores and knowing that, every game that you play, you have an opportunity to improve yourself. They're a great program. We got to keep getting better at the things that we got to get better at. Some of the turnovers we got to clean up, some of the rotations on our defense, getting Jackson more confident to have that extra body. Langston hasn't played, and I think he can help us moving forward. So we'll have a couple days. That's the good thing is we'll have some days to kind of rest up, but also get mentally prepared for the type of game that you have to play to give yourself a chance or to even be in the game.
Has Langston been hurt, or is that just...
No, it's more so rotation and how we're going to play. But he's been unbelievable in practice. I know he can help us. Think about Corin Johnson. He was redshirting, not playing, and now you can't keep him off the court. It just takes one moment, one opportunity, and he'll be getting it. Anything?
Thanks, Coach.
Is it still snowing outside or no?
I don't think so. You can come out to my house.
You got it. I got it. Alamo Bowl.